Hello, everybody. It is Jenny, and welcome to my diet journey. Today, we are on day 31 of doing the HCG diet, and this is going to be my last day. I believe I'm completely out of drops, so I'm going to try to do P3 for a few days. That's not protocol. When you stop, you're supposed to give yourself a couple weeks before you get back on, but I'm on a roll and I need to keep going. But I'm out of drops. I have to get another bottle going. I believe I have one more bottle. I hope I do. Because it takes a long time to get the drops that I order. I should look into getting another one as a backup after this. But I'm pretty sure oh shoot, I don't even know now. I'm going to have to go look. I think I took the last one. I think I have one more. And, and I have a weekend away with family celebrating a graduation. So, I am going to be eating out and all that, but although I can't do HCG, I can do protocol. So, I have been weaning myself on the drops anyway. So, you are supposed to have that 2 day period of eating P2, but not being on the drops. I've only been taking my drops in the morning because I've had so few, but I kind of wanted to get through Friday with them. I might even be able to take some Saturday morning, and then that will be the end of the bottle. But that's all I've had all day is just the morning dose. So it's only been a third of what I'm supposed to have. So my body's kind of getting rid of the HCG anyway. So if I try to be good and stick with as close to a P3, um, low carb, no carb kind of diet as possible, I'm hoping I don't do any bad backsliding and then I can jump right back in. So we'll see. It'll be a little bit of an experiment. So where are we on day 31? Actually, I had a really good day today. Especially since I didn't do great with my eating yesterday. Not horrible, but just not great. I mean, there are some days where you eat virtually nothing because you're not hungry at all. And it really wasn't that I was hungry, it was that I made more of that salsa chicken that I told you about earlier. Oh man, add a little more salsa to it, added more. Okay, now the crock pot this time, I took out 7 chicken breasts. And I buy them in the big Tyson frozen bag of chicken breasts. Okay, so they're like half breasts. So they're big, they're not chicken tenders. And I took out 7 of them. So I had them in this big pink bowl, all stacked on top of each other, frozen. It was like overloading. And I remember my daughter going, "Oh, it's really going to fit." And I didn't use my big crock pot. I had my smaller round one. It comes with a carrying case that I can take places if I'm traveling. Um, and once they all defrosted, twice I had to like pour out the extra liquid from them being frozen. It's amazing. Last time I just did 5, so I thought, oh, I'll do 7 this time. It looked like it barely fit half the crock pot with the 7. I easily could have put 10 chicken breasts in there. Now I know for next time I might need 2 bowls to put the chicken breasts in as they're defrosting. But they really are not only, it's not just the water from being frozen, but like my husband mentioned that on the package he saw something about it mentioning them being some sort of water being added or something to the effect of that. And I'm like, well, that makes sense because the vast amount of shrinkage that they go through when they defrost and the amount of, it felt like, didn't seem like water, it seemed like chicken juice. Really thick chicken juice that I kept pouring out was significant. Anyway, just to tell you, if you're going to make this, go ahead and you can do at least 7 large chicken breasts in your crock pot with a jar of salsa. That's it. Put it in at about 4 o'clock on low. Ate it the next morning. So here's the thing. It was really done the night before, but I don't like the juice watery at all. So I crack the lid just a little bit so that some goes out and I keep it on low all night long. So in the morning, there's just like a thick juice left at the bottom, a salsa, like a thick salsa, and then I just keep mixing that in with the chicken to keep it moist. So then it's just chicken and it's nothing runny because I like to put it in the taco, and then if you eat that, that little drip out. So I don't like that. So that's how I cook mine. And it was delicious. So by the next morning, you can imagine the way it smelled in the kitchen. So I went to unplug it and stir it up that morning, and I couldn't help but to take, I don't know, 3 or 4 bites of it. Like I couldn't stop. It was so good. Um, and then later that day, I made one for my daughter and one for myself. So I had an actual one on my tortilla, and I had a couple bites at the same time then. And then afterwards, I put all the rest into a bowl, sealed it up to put it in the refrigerator, and I think I took like 2 bites at that time. So the amount of chicken that I ate, significant. Now, is it healthy? Yes, it was just a jar of salsa with 7 chicken breasts. So the amount of salsa I actually ate, plus of all the evaporation and that, was not that much, and the chicken is very good. But it was just a lot more substance and weight than I'm used to eating. Um, and so I was a little worried about that. But it gets better because when I made the um, tortilla and toasted it and that for my daughter, because I'm like, let me make you what I make for myself. She was taking it back up to go back to work and eat it. I took one of the small circular things of guacamole, and I scooped half of it onto her plate and half of it onto mine. So it was probably equivalent to about a tablespoon, maybe each, maybe a tablespoon and a half. I don't even think it was 2 full tablespoons. Maybe it was 2 tablespoons. Maybe we each had about 2 tablespoons, I don't know, of guacamole on our plate. So I added the guac, so that was more fats and more calories again. And then later in the day, I had a different keto bar. Now, this keto bar has less carbs and less sugar in it, but I'm just starting to like really enjoy it. It just really feels like such a special treat to eat it. And I got these because I don't know if you do Ibotta. It's like an app that you can use on your phone where you get food like really cheaply and for free and good deals and all that. I should probably do a video on that another time. Anyway, they were having a really good sale on these. They were like buy one get one. So I got 2. And it sounded amazing. Chocolate almond fudge snack bars. 4 grams of protein, 2 net carbs, only 1 gram of sugar. I mean, good, right? How many calories? 160. I think the other one had more. Okay. So this is what they look like. I don't know if you can see. They taste okay. The ones I ate the other day, the off-brand ones that I think I got at Walmart. I should pull those out since I'm talking about it. Hang on, let's see if my cord reaches. Do, 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 do. Oh, that's right. I think the box is right behind me. It was a brand called Good Fats. And it doesn't say keto friendly, it just says keto on it. And this is ridiculously delicious. It says they're new. This one, though, has 9 grams of protein as opposed to the 7 grams of protein. This has 2 grams of sugar. This had 1 gram of sugar. And this has 190 calories versus the 160. These are what the other ones look like individually. And then this one I think had more carbs, if I recall correctly. Minus the fiber. Where is the fiber? Oh, fat, carb. Oh, fiber. Yeah, this has 5 carbs in it. So this one has more carbs. On a normal diet, 5 carbs would be like awesome and nothing. Because what did they want you to stay under? Like 30 carbs or stay under something like that a day. So if you're eating like you normally are on this diet and then you have this, it's no big deal. But this one is better in terms of carbs because this one only has 2 net carbs. This one has 5 net carbs. Again, we're talking net carbs because when you're dieting, you care more about the net carbs than you do the actual carb count. That means you look at how many carbs are in it and you subtract how much fiber's in it. And that's what your net carbs are. So all in all, this is the better choice. This Kellogg's It's just called Special Kellogg's Special K Keto Friendly Chocolate Almond Fudge Snack Bars. Um, it is better, but this one tastes better. This with the chocolate coating, although it doesn't taste like an M&M chocolate or Hershey bar chocolate, it still tastes like chocolate. So you feel like you're getting a little bit of a treat, whereas this is more like a brownie with almonds in it and kind of dry. And the inside of this is really dry too. Like I said, it has like a dirt consistency, like crumbles in your mouth like dirt. This one is like packed in mud dirt. It's like a thicker. This is a terrible way to describe it, making people not want to eat these at all. But anyway, I'm not saying you should eat these at all. I'm saying here's a good suggestion for when you're on P3, because you're not supposed to be having them on P2, but these are my cheats. Like if you're going to cheat, as opposed to me eating the bag of M&Ms that I've been looking at in my pantry this entire time, is one of my weaknesses are M&Ms. I just love M&Ms. I haven't had any of them. This is the better cheat. So if you have to cheat, I guess, there you go. That's why I'm showing it to you today. I'm really showing it to you today out of pure transparency. All right, let's get to what we're talking about. So I'm 31 days in and I lost 17 pounds. Pretty happy with that. And we'll see how we're doing and get going again on Monday. I mean, technically, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know too much what my options are going to be, but I'm going to try on Saturday to not eat until I have my dinner at 5:30 at the restaurant, and then try to make good choices. I don't know. Can I eat the hot dog without the bun? I don't know. I mean, yeah, if you grill it, I could. I'd love it, but these are obviously not going to be grilled. And then we'll see how I do then Sunday morning. I'm going to try Sunday to only have that breakfast meal that's part of the hotel. And I know that they'll probably have some sort of scrambled egg or that, so I can eat that, and that would be really good. My downfall is going to be what are the other carbs that are offered there, and can I avoid them? I can avoid pancakes. I can avoid waffles. I like them, but I can totally avoid them. They're not like my go-to. I like eggs and sausage and bacon more. So that's good. That's good. But like if they have cinnamon rolls and that kind of stuff, that's where I might fall apart and go, I'm on vacation. So we'll see. I'm just being completely honest with you. I should say, well, obviously I'm not going to have that, but I just complete transparency is what we're talking about here today. I'm going to read you a part of the protocol that I feel like I've done a video on before, but as I'm reading through it, just because I've seen a few words that look familiar from the past, but as I'm reading it, I'm like, gosh, I don't remember that, and I don't remember that, and I don't remember that. So again, take this information for what you will. This was a little bit of a chauvinistic man back in the 1960s who wrote this protocol. But I just want to share everything that the protocol says on this channel. And this is one area I don't know if I've covered. Maybe I've just taken a paragraph from it, or maybe some of the words he's used in other parts of the protocol as well, which is possible. But the category for this part of the protocol is called signs and symptoms of obesity. All right. The bodily signs may be divided into such as have been developed before puberty, indicating a strong inherited factor, and those which develop at the onset of manifest disorder. Okay, I don't know exactly what he knows by that, but we'll just keep going. Early signs are a disproportionately large size of the upper front teeth, the first incisor, or a dimple on both sides of the sacral bone just above the buttocks. When the arms are outstretched and the palms upward, the forearms appear sharply angled from the upper arms. So they go at an angle. I don't know angle which way, but the same applies to the lower extremities. The patient cannot bring his feet together without the knees overlapping. He is in fact knee knock. So I've seen that a lot in children who are heavier. that their knees come together and the bottom of parts of their legs kind of flare out a little bit when they're walking. So, again, these are signs of obesity early on in somebody. The beginning accumulation of abnormal fat shows as a little pad just below the nape of the neck, colloquially known as the Duchess hump. So that's right back here. I've actually got one of those. They're genetically in my family, and I've been like doing YouTube videos looking into there are ways to kind of try to reverse that. It does over time develop more fat and it makes the hump look even bigger, but it's also a problem with the spine, and there are ways that I've seen on YouTube videos from chiropractors that you can start to work to reverse it. So I'm going to be working on that because for the last 20 years that's been one of my self-conscious parts of my body, and why I don't have short. I'd love to have cute short hair, but I can't. I always have to cover that bump in the back. Anyway, I should do another video on that at some point. I'll take pictures and then do a bunch of the exercises and things they tell you to do and see if I can get it to change. Okay, I digress. There's a triangular fatty bulge in front of the armpit when the arm is held against the body, right here. I think a lot of us might be familiar with that. When the skin is stretched by fat rapidly accumulating under it, it may split in the lower layers. When large and fresh, such tears are purple, but later they are transformed into white scar tissue. All right, so I guess it makes purplish lines, which he's referring to as tears, becoming scar tissue. Such striation, as it is called, commonly occurs on the abdomen of women during pregnancy, but in obesity, it is frequently found on the breasts, the hips, and occasionally the shoulders. Okay, so stretch marks, basically, we're talking about. In many cases, striation is so fine that the small white lines are only just visible. They are always a sure sign of obesity, and though this may be slight at the time of examination, such patients can usually remember a period in their childhood when they were excessively chubby. Okay. I will say I don't think I suffer from any stretch marks except for a little bit on my abdomen from my pregnancies, on my lower abdomen, just slight. So I got lucky. I think genetics comes to play in that as well. Some people have significant stretch marks, and then other people don't have any. I didn't put any oils or creams or lotions. I didn't do anything to try to prevent stretch marks. Yeah. Oh my goodness. We are running out of time. Let me finish here. Another typical sign is a pad of fat on the inside of the knees, a spot where normal fat reserves are never stored. There may be a fold of skin over the pubic area, and another fold may stretch around both sides of the chest, where a loose roll of fat can be picked up between two fingers. In the male, an excessive accumulation of fat in the breasts is always indicative, while in the female, the breast is usually but not necessarily large. Obviously, excessive fat on the abdomen, the hips, the thighs, the upper arms, the chin, the shoulders are characteristic, and it is important to remember that any number of these signs may be present in persons whose weight is statistically normal, particularly if they are dieting on their own with iron determination. So I didn't know that depletion of iron can also affect this. Common clinical symptoms are indicative of an association with in the clinical picture, such as frequent headaches, rheumatic pains without detectable bony abnormality, a feeling of laziness and lethargy, often both physical and mental, and frequently associated with insomnia, the patient saying all they want to do is rest, the frightening feeling of being famished and sometimes weak with hunger 2 to 3 hours after a hearty meal, and an irresistible yearning for sweets and starchy foods, which often overcomes the patient quite suddenly and is sometimes substituted by a desire for alcohol for substituted by a desire for alcohol. Constipation and a spastic or irritable colon are unusually common amongst these obese, and so are menstrual disorders. Returning once more to our Sif like lady, we can say that a combination of some of these symptoms with a few of the typical bodily signs is sufficient evidence to take her case seriously. A human figure, male or female, can only be judged in the nude, and opinion based on the dressed appearance can be quite fantastically wide off the mark. And I feel myself driven to the conclusion that apart from frankly psychotic patients, such as cases of anorexia nervosa or a morbid weight fixation, does not exist. I have yet to see a patient who continues to complain after the figure has been rendered normal by adequate treatment. All right, so he's saying that this kind of cycle, because we talked about psychological indicators also as part of our whole gaining of weight and all that, he's saying that the obese patient, typically, especially when early on are obese, once they start to lose weight, that it doesn't, I don't know. I don't know if that contradicts what we talked about before. Because if you have underlying issues from your childhood that caused you to gain weight to protect yourself and you don't handle those issues and you lose the weight, I could see them wanting to gain the weight right back again. I mean, those things need to be taken care of. But maybe I'm just reading it incorrectly and understanding it incorrectly. And since I've got 1 minute till class starts, I don't have time to go back and reread it and analyze it. But that's what it says about signs and symptoms of obesity. Let's just say it's interesting. Take from it what you will. And I will see you. What day is today? Friday. I won't see you tomorrow because I'm leaving early in the morning, I don't think, unless I get up extra early before classes and do a video. But, and Sunday will probably be a crazy day. So I probably won't see you till Monday. You take care. Good luck on your diet. Happy dieting this weekend. And stay the course. Let's stick with it. See you in a couple days. Bye.